In the last session, we derived what is the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor without dielectric. That expression is, we obtained it as C is equal to A into epsilon naught by T. Here C is the capacitance of the capacitor, A is the area of the parallel plate, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space or 8, and D is the spacing between or separation between the two plates. Okay. Now here what happened when dielectric is introduced in between the parallel plates of a capacitor? See here, I consider a parallel plate capacitor. These are the two plates, and here the separation between them can be taken as a D. And in this parallel plate capacitor, a dielectric is introduced. The thickness of dielectric can be taken as a T. It is the plate 1 and it is the plate 2. And we know that when we consider this is the one plate is having the positive charge and the other plate is attaining the negative charge. So like that, I consider the parallel plate capacitor. In previous derivation we are not taking any dielectric, so it is having air. But whenever we take the dielectric, here it is having the dielectric constant that is representing with K. And we know that electric field between these two plates without dielectric is sigma by epsilon naught. That is known as, we assume it as the E bar. The electric field between these two plates, E bar is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. But whenever dielectric is taken, so in the dielectric the field become E bar by T. Okay? So this is the important point. Whenever dielectric is not there, in the previous we derived electric field between two parallel plates is sigma by epsilon naught. When dielectric is taken, in the dielectric constant can be taken. So based on that, the electric field between two plates, in the previous sigma by epsilon naught, but in this case two fields will be there. One is in the free space and another one is when dielectric is introduced. Now that electric field can be taken as is equal to, that is E bar plus, here electric field is E bar by K. Okay. Now by using this one we are going to find what is the capacitance of the capacitor when dielectric is introduced. Now we know that the potential here E is equal to V by D is the relation we used in the last class. Now here also we are going to use V is equal to, that is the potential between these two plates can be taken as E bar into D plus E bar by K into, here E bar is, here E, here also E, but this part is not E, so this is D minus T. The potential in the free space is nothing but electric field E bar into D minus T plus E bar by K, that is the electric field in the slab, into what is the thickness of the dielectric, that is T. So from that we are going to write the potential between these two plates when dielectric slab is placed is E bar into D minus T plus T by K. Clearly understand. Here E bar is the electric field in the free space. E bar by K is the electric field in the slab. Then total electric field between these two plates is E bar into free space is D minus T plus E bar by K into T. So from that we obtain V is equal to E bar into D minus T plus T by K. And here what is the formula for E bar? E bar is nothing but sigma by epsilon naught. We derived in the last session the electric field between two parallel plates is sigma by epsilon naught. Here what is sigma? Sigma is nothing but Q by A into epsilon. Sigma is nothing but Q by A. So by substituting Q by A, V is equal to Q by A into epsilon naught d minus t plus t by k. Now finally here we know what is the capacitance. Capacitance C is equal to Q by V. So from this expression we obtain Q by V is equal to Q by V. Takes V this side, remaining terms are taken to the LHS. This is A into epsilon naught by d minus t plus t by k. So here Q by V is nothing but a capacitance. So whenever a dielectric medium is placed, the capacitance can be taken as C is equal to A into epsilon naught by d minus t plus t by k. Here d is the distance of separation between two plates, t is the thickness of the dielectric, and k is the dielectric constant. Okay, now once again see the derivation. The expression is important in the object point of view also. Here I consider parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric slab of thickness T. And here without dielectric, we already derived in the last session, electric field between the two parallel plates is sigma by epsilon naught. When dielectric is placed, now the electric field can be taken as E bar by K, where K is the dielectric constant. Therefore, total field inside the total field inside this parallel plate capacitor is E bar plus E bar by K. Now here we are going to calculate what is the potential across these two plates. That potential is equal to, we know the formula, electric field E is equal to V by D. Therefore V is equal to E into D. So in this parallel plate capacitor, the free space is only having thickness that is electric potential is E bar into thickness of the free space is D minus T plus E bar by K into thickness of the slab is T. By substituting this is the electric field. This potential V is equal to E bar common D minus T plus T by K. But we know that electric field is nothing but sigma by epsilon naught, where sigma is Q by A. Final electric field in the free space can be written as Q by A into epsilon naught. Substituting here, from this we know capacitance C is equal to Q by V. So from this expression, take V RHS, remaining terms are taken to the LHS. You write Q by V equal to A into epsilon naught by D minus T plus T by K. So finally capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor which is having a dielectric slab is A into epsilon naught by D minus T plus T by K. Now see some points we have to remember. Generally they are given for 1 mark questions. That is, this is the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor when a dielectric slab is placed with a thickness of T. This is the capacitance. For example, if you take a parallel plate capacitor, the parallel plate capacitor is filled with dielectric. This total can be taken as the dielectric, that is value is K. So in this we know that is thickness of dielectric is equal to, this is the thickness of the dielectric and it is the separation between the plates. Thickness of dielectric is equal to separation between the plates. Now the formula can be written as, this is, I call it as the capacitance with the medium. Cm is equal to A into epsilon naught by D and T both are equal. So this becomes 0. It is written as D by K. So finally Cm is equal to K into A into epsilon naught by D. But we know that what is A into epsilon naught by D? That is nothing but electric field capacitance without dielectric. So finally, what is the relation between capacitance with medium and without medium is, capacitance with medium is equal to K into capacitance without medium. From that we are going to write the dielectric constant K is equal to capacitance with medium by capacitance without medium. And also we write this formula as permittivity of medium by permittivity of free space. This is an important relation. Here this formula is used when T is not equal to D, that is thickness of dielectric is not equal to the distance between the plates. Then we are using this formula. When thickness is equal to the distance between the plates, then we are going to use the formula as K into A into epsilon naught by D. And relation between dielectric constant and medium or capacitance with medium and capacitance without medium is K is equal to Cm by C naught. This is the capacitance with dielectric medium by capacitance without dielectric medium, and it is also written as permittivity of the medium by permittivity of the free space. Now see the three formulas which are very important for 1 mark questions, and they are going to ask the questions in objective also. That is capacitance without dielectric. Capacitance without dielectric is, the formula is C naught is equal to A into epsilon naught by D. This is an important 5 mark question also. We have to practice. Next, capacitance with medium means total space between the two plates is filled with a medium. That is Cm is equal to K into A into epsilon naught by D. Next, capacitance when dielectric slab of thickness T is placed. A dielectric slab of thickness T is placed. Now the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor can be written as A into epsilon naught by D minus T plus T by K. So these are the formulas which we are going to use in case of the parallel plate capacitor. The grouping of the capacitors. Grouping of capacitor means when capacitors are connected in series and capacitors are connected in parallel. First we derive when two capacitors are connected in series, what is the effective capacitance? This is also an important question which is given for the 3 marks. Okay. Now see here, I take two capacitors. We consider two capacitors, capacitor 1 and capacitor 2. This is C1 and C2. Both are connected to a voltage source. Okay, now two capacitors are connected to a voltage source. Now here we know that in series connection voltage is divided. So here voltage across capacitor 1 is V1 and capacitor 2 is V2. But whereas the charge is same because all are connected in the series. Okay. In parallel voltage is same, charge is different. Now here we change this circuit into a equivalent circuit. This having only one capacitance, that is C equivalent, and it is having the charge Q and the voltage applied is V. Here remember, in the series connection of capacitors charge is same but whereas potential is different. When the parallel connection potential is same whereas charge is different. Now in this case we know in series, all of you know that the potential is divided. Here V is equal to V1 plus V2. When potential is divided, from that we are going to write V1. Here the formula is known as C is equal to Q by V. From that V is equal to C into Q. With this formula, here we are going to write from this equivalent circuit V is equal to C equivalent. Here we write the C equivalent as CS. CS represents series connection of the capacitors. CS into Q. This is the value of V. And here V1 is voltage across capacitor C1. Here V1 can be written as C1 into, here we are going to write it as V is equal to CS into Q, and here it is written as V1 is equal to C1, C is equal to Q by V. Here it is Q by C. From this we write it as Q by CS. Similarly, V1 is equal to Q by C1 and V2 is equal to Q by C2. Here we know capacitance C is equal to Q by V. From that potential V is equal to Q by C. From the equivalent circuit V is equal to Q by Cs, and from the given circuit V1 is equal to Q by C1, V2 is equal to Q by C2. Now substitute all the values in this equation. That is Q by Cs is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2. That implies Q can be taken common and it is cancelled. So whenever capacitors are connected in series, the equivalent capacitance 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So this is the effective capacitance whenever two capacitors are connected in a series. Here I take two capacitors. Those two capacitors are connected in series across a voltage source. In series, voltage is divided, that is V1 and V2. Now this circuit is written as equivalent circuit with effective capacitance is Cs and applied voltage is V. But in the series circuit, the charge is constant. We know that in series connection, applied potential is equal to drop across C1 plus drop across C2. That is V equal to Q by Cs, V1 is equal to Q by C1, V2 equal to Q by C2. And finally, we can get Q by Cs is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2. So that is Q is common. The simplifying we obtain the effective capacitance in the series connection is 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Next, parallel connection of the capacitors. Here, when two capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in parallel, then the applied voltage is V, but we know that in the parallel connection, voltage across each element is constant, but whereas the charge can be divided. Here it is Q1, here it is Q2. And here only one capacitor, that is the equivalent capacitor, that is the Cp. Here voltage V, and here the charge is taken as a Q. And we know the formula, I already gave you, C is equal to Q by V. Here Q can be taken because here dividing term is charge. In the series connection, dividing term is potential. So we take V is equal to V1 plus V2. But in parallel connection, the dividing term is the charge. So we are going to take Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Here Q is taken from equivalent circuit. That is Q is equal to Cp into V. Here Cp is the equivalent capacitance when they are connected in parallel. Next to Q1. Q1 is the charge across the capacitor C1. That Q1 can be written as C1 into V. And next one is Q2. Q2 can be written as C2 into V. Finally, we substitute all the values in this equation. Cp into V is equal to C1 into V plus C2 into V. Finally, the capacitance whenever two capacitors are connected in parallel is C1 plus C2. So this is the derivation when two capacitors are connected in parallel. Now based on that, if I take n capacitors, when we take n capacitors, whenever the n capacitors are connected in series, then the equivalent capacitance is equal to, that is 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus and so on 1 by Cn. When n capacitors are connected in series, we take the formula as 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 and so on 1 by Cn. And if n capacitors are connected in parallel, the equivalent capacitance is Cp can be written as C1 plus C2 plus and so on Cn. So this is the concept which is related to grouping of the capacitors. When capacitors connected in series, we take 1 by C equivalent is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 and so on 1 by Cn. When capacitors are connected in parallel, the equivalent capacitance Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 and so on Cn. Okay. In the next session, we derive what is the energy storing in the capacitance. That is also important 3-mark questions, because in this chapter number of 3-mark questions will be there, only 2 5-mark questions are there. Okay, and we solve some problems also. Thank you.